this is my brother Marcus, and he is doing a podcast called Monologue Mondays. So you better listen, and you better be nice. He gonna interview me, and I want nothing but good comments for him, not me, but for him. If they ain't nice, I'm coming.
Welcome to Monologue. This is great. This is good. Welcome to Monologue Mondays with myself and my guest, Jezar Riches. The Jezar Riches. Y'all heard in the comments, y'all better be nice. Don't be playing, y'all better be nice. No, I am happy. I'm happy. Happy Monday to everybody. I'm glad y'all all are here. Jezar, thank you for coming on the show.
I'm not doing this.
It's so much to talk about. I'm trying to, limit my words so we can hear all your words. Because you're Jezar Riches.
And you're Marcus Woods.
But you can't say, like, even the name, Jezar Riches. It rolls. You know this. Yeah, you do. So look, welcome. We got a wonderful thing that we're going to talk about. Look, we're going to talk about creating your own space and not waiting for permission to create. You don't need nobody's permission to be creative. You don't need nobody's permission to be an actor, a director, a producer, none of that. So we're going to talk about all those wonderful things today. But Jezar, just introduce yourself outside of your name.
Outside of my name is crazy. I'm Jezar Riches. I am a mother first. Let's start over. What? My name is Jezar Riches, and I am a child of God first.
Come on,
always
man.
That.
I ain't mad at that at all.
Okay. And I'm a mother, and I am a content creator as well as a writer, director, producer.
Bada boom, bada bing. Just actress there. Don't say that quiet. Actress. No, we gonna dig into that too. So it's a lot of things that I want to talk to you about. That I think it'd be good. It'd be good because you took the time to kind of create your own space, and I know it was in the making, but like during COVID, you really kind of like boom took off. But before we even get into that, we got to talk about Jezar Riches as the actress. You know what I mean? Because if they know you as funny, I met you were an actress. Like, you know what I mean?
We did meet on stage.
I remember I'm not going to say, Jezar Riches is your name. So I'm not going to say the other name, but I said another name and you was like, I don't go by that name. But I was like, oh, shoot.
That's my history's name, my ancestral.
I'm Jezar X now. This like Malcolm X. No, and I met you then, and at the time I didn't even know you could rap or sing. I just was like, okay, she's an actress. You know what I mean? Amazing actress. You do amazing work. And we're gonna dig into some of that stuff. So I met Jezar years ago. And then we were able to work together and be in some movies together and all those good things. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, Jezar, and then I'm going to give some tips, and then we're going to move out your way. So my first question to the multi-talented Jezar Riches is this. What was the moment you realized you weren't just going to be a part of the industry and you was going to build your own lane?
Okay. And I always have this question asked, and I'd like to answer it because I could give you the pageant answer.
Yeah, oh, no,
but
give me
like
the,
to give you the raw and dirty. It was the rejection, the heavy amount of rejection for my skin tone. I would go in to auditions, and it became almost ritual that I wouldn't get the role, and I knew it had something to do with my skin tone because eventually it was mentioned.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah,
actually said it to you.
Because after a while, you have to just finally ask, like, what is it?
Yeah.
And you have some few people that will finally just take you to the side, like, oh, it's you don't look the part. And, when you get down to it, you know what that means.
So when the skin tone, because I want people to be very, understand what she's saying. She don't just mean as a black woman. She's actually talking about her skin color, skin tone. Because that's a different.
Wesley Snipe color.
Come on, tell them the melanin.
The melanin.
The melanin. So you said forget it. I'm doing my own. So, but okay, maybe I'm going too far. So, where did acting and everything start for you?
Well, now acting. My mother was a writer and director, so she used to carry me in a little baby carriage to her plays and her rehearsals. So I grew up in this.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And she, mind-blowing actress, singer, writer, producer. You know what I mean? So I grew up in it, and and she's an artist too. So everything she has, I just was like, oh, I want that. So I draw and I do all these things that she do, but she's my motivation. She is my inspiration. And so I just kind of grew up in it. And as time went on, I was able to be a part of a youth group called Mosaic Youth Theater.
Yeah, Mosaic.
So
shout out.
The acting bug was gone. I mean, it's locked in after that. You know what I mean? So at that point, there is no other career.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So,
and then it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't until I got into this particular industry that I started realizing that I probably wouldn't get as many roles.
Okay.
Because of, skin tone. And my whole thing is you could cry about it. And I did. But after that, you got to figure something out.
Yeah, you only could take so many L's before you do something.
And stay there. You figure it out.
Absolutely. Because if not, you're going to be stuck in your tears, just swimming in a pool of tears.
And I can't swim that good. So.
I can't. Okay, because she can't swim. Y'all heard her, but not that good, enough to get to where you got to go.
That's it.
So that made you. So you stepped out of that world of just kind of the arts period and said, okay, I'm about to go into the world of film. And then it was like boom. So knowing that you do the whole thing of the world of film, are you, because we got you as a writer, producer, director, actress, rapper. She ain't dropping no bars today, but
Lord.
Let me ask you as a rapper. This is off the script.
Okay.
So as a rapper, how did that translate as an actress? Like or do they work hand in hand or?
You know what the fun story is about me being a rapper? I accidentally stumbled on it when I was married.
What?
Yeah,
How?
Because when I met Ro, and that's my ex-husband, but we are best friends. So I love him dearly.
Shout out Ro.
Yeah, shout out Ro. We still work together. He's amazing. But when I met him, he was a rapper.
Okay.
And then he was also doing music videos.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm learning everything.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
Oh, you want us to know? Okay.
But he was a rapper.
Okay.
And him and his friend used to always be in the living room creating beats and rapping and stuff. And I was like, well, I want to spend time, with my spouse. So I was like, one day when he went to work, I was like, okay, let me give this thing a try and see if I can get with it. And when he came home, I was like, okay, look.
I got something.
Listen. I think I know how to rap. I figured something out.
Not I think.
And so I started doing it to this beat he had made. And he looked at me like, oh my God, that's really good.
That's dope.
And it was history.
So it was an accident.
It was such an accident.
And
it actually just took off. I was actually going by the name Ice.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm not saying it's a bad name, but thank God for Jezar Riches. I'm not saying it's Ice.
Oh, well, nowadays.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's bad.
So would you do a musical? You remember how they had what's the thing Beyonce and them had? Was it Cleopatra something? Remember they had the musical where they were rapping in hip hopera. That's what it was. Carmen.
Ooh.
See.
Honestly, I would say I would.
You would?
Yeah,
I think you would murder a role like that. You would do so, not murder in a bad way. We got to be careful.
Yeah.
But
not alive, that's what they say now.
Right, too late now, right? But no, I think you would do excellent in that. I think you would do excellent.
I would be down for something like that. Anything musical. I think.
Would you go full out musical, dance, like the whole thing?
I would try it. It's not something I actually would want to just keep going after, but I would try it.
Why you don't think you got the look?
I don't.
I'm gonna say something that y'all probably don't know.
That,
she wants to be in Black Panther 3. Stop
so
playing with her. She got training videos. She flipping tires, kicking people. I seen her knock one of her sons down. Like no, I'm just playing. But she really wants to be, and so I think you could do it. You have the athleticism to do it.
I would cut every inch of hair off my head to get in that role.
But you could do it. And the reason I know you could do it because you are phenomenal at what you do. You know what I mean? You're really good at this, and it's not like something you don't get 500K plus followers on accident.
Thank you.
So I want to like how did that come about?
Again, this was me finally getting a cell phone that could shoot something, and I would be in my living room. Like I have these really, really old cringy videos of me in my living room playing all these different characters. And then when social media came about, Dave Chaney actually inspired the whole.
Shout out Dave.
Shout out Dave Chaney. He inspired him and Tommy Green actually inspired the whole trying to go social media wise, right? And I didn't do it till years later when I finally got the confidence to be like, okay, let's just try something, So
it was the work that when you first started, was that just like a vault of stuff that you had put up?
No, that was so it was me starting just doing little skits at home, and then when COVID hit, I started doing COVID content.
Gotcha.
And that's when the following started hitting. Wow. And honestly, the green screen thing was another game. This is how you know it's always God led.
Yeah, I love this.
Accident. I do my kids show, and I had a green screen, and I seen this video of these white people dancing, and I was like, oh, I would love to be in there with them. And I'm like, I got a green screen. Can I?
Wow.
It was such an accident. And so I was like, let me get in here. I did it. And not in a million years would I ever thought that video would go viral. Like
You know, the first one I saw you in was the Bugs Bunny one.
that was the
the one.
That was the first.
That's the first one I saw.
And I put that out on Easter.
I was cracking up. I said, "How'd she do that?" I mean, you and Bugs was getting it, and I was like, I said that was too dope. But it was a beautiful thing because, like I said, I didn't know you did comedy. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
I only knew you as an actress of a play that we never got to do together because of me. But we're not gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that because it was my fault. I was supposed to be in it, and it was all my fault. But and so you remember the rehearsal? I ripped in my pants in the rehearsal.
No.
Yes.
Wait, that's the only play we were supposed to ever be in. Wait, we didn't do.
No, we did. We did a play with your mother. I was in your mother's play too.
That's true.
Yep, and that's so So that was that. But I think those were it.
Dang, so I didn't meet you in the. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like I've known you way longer than that.
I think we've known each other, but I don't think we hadn't bumped into each other. Okay. Yeah, and worked together. So, so that's why I was like, oh, she can act, but now she does comedy. And when you started doing these videos and all this, I mean, it was almost like a TV show. Like you were expecting. Like if I don't get up and see a skit or something to make me laugh or this little COVID off real quick.
Okay, not this COVID off.
Real quick, because I'm tired of this medicine and steaming my face and pots and stuff. Like, you know
That is so silly.
You know what I'm saying? But
therapy.
You got a lot of people through. And then I would even see in the comments where people would say, I love what you're doing. You're getting me through it. You got people out of depression even. Like they put this stuff out here. And you did it on a God-given gift on accident. You know what I'm saying? So I think that is amazing. So let me ask you, as a director and producer, how does that translate? How do they follow you like crap? Like how does that work?
So, you mean the supporters?
As far the supporters.
Yeah, you know what? Because a lot of people, it's funny you saying that, being as close as you are to me, not knowing some of these things. A lot of the supporters will say, you should act, and I'm like,
that is funny.
I've been acting for a while.
A long time.
But that's okay. You don't know. It's okay. Or I'll put out an old rap video, and they're like, what, you rap? So it's one of those things where they came for one thing, and I slowly try to give them other things.
That is amazing.
So.
That is so good. I love that. I love that about it, and I love that you direct and produce, but you also write, and you have a ton of we talked earlier. She has a ton of films out that she either wrote, direct, produced, or have even been in. You know what I mean? It's because, like you said, you can act. So let's talk about some of them.
Okay.
First of all, we're gonna run them off. Y'all ready? We got to run them off, and then we're gonna talk about them all. There's Fatal Dispatch. There's Fan of Mine. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Nutty Beautician, which is on the way. Oh, I saw a post about Nutty Beautician. I was like, okay. Birth of a Savage. That's a good one. Not because, it's just a good one. No, Birth of a Savage. And She Without Sin. So you wrote all these projects, or either you co-wrote or wrote. I think you actually wrote them all. Okay, cool. So you wrote them all. What's your writing process? Like, how do you?
Oh, first off, writing for me is an escape. That's why I think outside of acting, writing is probably the next best thing I love. Okay. Well, between that and the social media, because those things are escapes for me. I can take myself. As the green screen should explain to you, I like being able to take myself where I want to go. I don't like limitations. And when I write, that's the only time I feel like I get to
just be you in this world.
Yeah, be whatever I want to be.
Ooh, that's
and
good,
so, with the writing. So the first one was Fatal Dispatch, which was originally Hawk. And that was a year-long writing process.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I'm real particular.
Okay.
So what I like to do is when I find a subject matter that I want to write on, I'll go and do as much research as possible on it.
Y'all hear that? Much research as possible. Continue. I ain't gonna mess with. Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you cook. But no, I do. I do a lot of research. I watch a lot of movies that's similar to mine, so that I can study. And I don't study it to steal. Right. I study it to learn. I study how they do transitions. I study how they build characters and things of that nature, so that I can create a strong story. You know. And so once I've completed all that,
it's go time.
Yeah, it's go time.
It's go time. Okay.
Yeah.
Out of those, which one was the hardest for you? Right. Out of Fatal Dispatch, Fan of Mine, Nutty Beautician, Birth of a Savage, She Without Sin. I'm running out of fingers.
Fatal Dispatch was the hardest.
Really?
Yes.
Because the process was so long.
Well, if you ever watched the movie, not you per se, I'm just saying, but if anyone ever watch it, it's so many callback twos. Okay. And if you're not familiar with callback two, it's something that will happen in the beginning that will later show up in the end, and you have to go back and remember how it connected. It was so many pieces that had to connect, and it was actually although it was one of the hardest, it was one of my it was so dear to me. That if I ever in another day, another time, I tell you that process because it caused me to lose so much weight.
Really?
Oh my goodness! I had so many tears, so many things happen, and for it to go in and win awards, and then we redid it, as you know, because it was hard. We redid it, recast it, did that Fatal Dispatch. That to me. Yeah,
that's big.
It was big.
That's big. Yeah. So there are The Birth of a Savage. You actually starred in that. And you know, which was crazy. If y'all have, it's been out, so y'all go watch it whenever y'all go watch it. Yeah. But I mean, y'all falling through tables and fight scenes.
We were taking chances, and the good thing. So the thing about that one, real quick, Fatal Dispatch is no longer on Tubi right now, but it will be back on there. We're just cleaning it up, doing some name changes because it was getting lost in the sauce with other names. So it will be back. So I will announce it when it comes out. Okay. Birth of a Savage is available on Tubi, and that one was during COVID. I actually had COVID. I was in a motel room, lonely and depressed, and I just was like, man, I just need to do something. And of course, writing came to mind. And then I had got a call from Ro like, hey, we need a script. We got some money on the table. Time to do a script. And I'm like, I don't have nothing. I mean, I got this one I'm writing, but it's an experiment. He's like, what is it about?
Care about no experiment? Give it here.
Yeah. I was like, well, it's this combat fighting girl that, okay, we're going to use that one. It's not ready, Ro. I don't care. We're using that one. And so.
Did you know you was going to star in it from jump?
Yeah, you know what? Because it was my way of trying to show I'm an actress. Okay. I was like, it's time, and I felt like the only way I'm gonna ever show it is I gotta write myself in something.
I love that you just said that because that's what this whole episode is about not waiting on permission to create. And that's what I want people to understand. You do not have to wait to create. This is what I normally say. You don't have to wait to be great. You do have to get started, but you don't have to wait to be great. And I love that you just said that you put yourself in it because you said that I'm gonna have to show people. Because at this point, Birth of a Savage, the comedy stuff, the skits are high, so people don't even know at this point. Well, I'm gonna say the new people don't even know that you can act. You know what I mean?
Nobody knows.
And I love that. You went on. I don't know if we can talk about it. If we can't, you just say no. But you went on an audition recently and booked something pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Talk around it. Talk around.
Talk around it. Yeah. You know what? I can't.
Okay.
Yeah,
See, we ain't gonna get in no trouble. I almost had a viral moment. I almost had it. It's cool. But I'm just saying to that point, that's how I know you can act because it's when you all do see it, it's an amazing thing to book that. You know what I mean? But again, you write, you direct, you do all these things. You have a couple that we name are not even on the out yet. Nutty Beautician.
Oh, that's dear to my heart.
Yeah.
That's why I'm taking so long with it.
Okay.
I'm trying to go to a different place in my life with that one.
Yeah.
So it's taking a little bit more time. But what happened was we did it as a short film.
Okay.
Short film is complete.
Oh,
I can put it out if I want to.
What?
I don't want to.
Oh, she don't want to. Stop. Yeah, don't get excited.
Because I don't want them to see it is raw.
Okay.
It's not as great with the special effects
and
all
the
things.
Yeah.
And then the story, I twisted the story a little bit for the feature. So I kind of just want to save it.
I love that.
Yeah, I like although I get this is an industry where God has blessed us to be able to make money from it, which is amazing.
Yeah.
It's still so much passion for me there.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm very particular about what I put out.
The name Nutty Beautician is inspired by, you know what I'm saying? Nutty Professor.
Y'all know I love me some Eddie.
And that's what I was finna go. She loves Eddie, so it was definitely.
Him.
So is that where I'm jumping out? But is that where the switching of the characters come from?
Yes,
and all that?
Of course.
I love
him and I would even say Jaleel White from Family Matters being one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
And I've actually got a chance to kind of just talk to him.
What?
On Instagram.
How was that?
I stalked him. I just love you though. No.
Stalked him.
But eventually we got, I was able to inbox him. He finally just like, let me answer this crazy girl. And realized he seen some of my skits and started talking like, you are funny.
Wow.
I've had some amazing people inbox me.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, Wayne Brady left me a long voice memo.
What?
That I still have, so I have proof.
Yeah.
Just giving me my roses.
That is so dope.
Do you know? Yeah, it's Wayne Brady. Do you know how big I was sitting there like, hello? Is that real?
Not the handshake.
He talking
is that you, Wayne?
He introduced himself. I'm like, huh?
How'd you find me, Wayne?
Right. Yeah,
no, that is so. I love that. I love that because I love bringing people on the show that I know. and that are passionate about it, but at the same time that you're real. We fan out too. You know what I'm saying? We fan out as well. So I love that. I love that. That's where you are. Did you ever think comedy would bring you to this moment, or did you think I'm gonna have to be this dramatic actress? Like, did you ever, or you just went with whatever?
I think I never thought about it. I just knew it was going to be comedy because that's what I wanted.
Yes.
I wasn't going to waver too much from it. To me, drama is just something to say I can.
Okay.
But my heart is where honestly, action. I love action.
I love action too.
Yeah, I love action.
If somebody don't put me in somewhere I'm jumping from an explosion somewhere, I'm ready.
I'm ready for the cape. I didn't wrote a superhero movie too. I got all of them. I'm trying.
Don't have me auditioning right now. I got cameras. I can send this to you. But no, that's dope though. That's really dope. I love this. Okay, so let me stay focused. So Nutty Petition is not out. You're still working on it.
Yes.
You want to put it out the right way, which I love to hear you say that. We also talked about another one that's not out is Fan of Mine. So, and I believe, well, I'm going to let you tell us. You talked a little bit about it.
Marcus has been so kind to sit here, as humble as he is. Humble as he is. And he got all his friends on here. Knowing that Marcus is one of the most amazing actors I've ever encountered. He's in all my stuff. He know it too.
I am.
Yeah. I
am in all her stuff. I am in all your stuff. Not I am amazing and phenomenal and all that. That is so arrogant. I'm in all her stuff.
He's a lead in Fan of Mine.
Yeah.
And he's, and first off, thank you for your patience.
Absolutely.
Because we did Fan of Mine in 23?
I got movies I did in 20 and I ain't seen yet, so we'll be all right.
But it's a blessing because it's picked up as a Tubi original.
Let's go,
right?
Can you explain to them how important to have an original, but for Tubi to pick it up as an original? Like this is a thing.
It's so huge because Tubi has a lot of films that come in that they have to review to see if it's, clean enough to put on their platform.
Yeah.
So they're watching these films. Mm-hmm. And so to sit and watch one of our films and say, hold on, and we got to buy that one.
Woo.
That is God-led, first off.
Yeah.
And such a blessing because your face is going to be on the original, and
thank you.
I want to shout out Dewan.
Yes.
Dewan Ford. Dewan Ford is my big brother. He's amazing.
Yeah.
And I just appreciate him because for some reason he believed. He believed. He didn't know me from Adams. And
yeah.
he was like, okay, let's see what you got, sis, and for him to become an executive producer for Fan of Mine, Fatal Dispatch, and he even came in on the tail end on Birth of a Savage. Like, okay, I'm gonna throw something at that too.
Wow.
His heart is, it's
that's
just
amazing. Yeah,
to believe like that. So these are his films, and he allow us to kind of just do our thing. And I always want to shout out that. I want to shout out Coattail Row and the whole team.
Yeah, shout out.
They
to
have
them,
made those films look.
Yeah,
I watched it.
Bro is one of my, I'm not going to hold y'all up, one of my favorite DPs in the world. And I really feel like we shorthand him to stop at DP because he do so much. He does. You know what I mean? And
I call him clean up. I call him clean up on aisle 7.
But he's dope. And see, it takes you back to, again, the title of this episode. Imagine if you waited. If you had to wait on somebody to say, Jezar, you're creative. Jezar, you're great at what you do. If you would have waited, we'd still be sitting here. Like, we'd still be waiting on Jezar Riches. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And look, I would have not been in at least 2 or 3 movies.
I had a minister once say, and I heard him, he said, your dreams are attached to other people's dreams. So when you're sitting and waiting, you're putting someone, they just in line waiting to get their spot. Now, and I do believe that at some point God will remove you so they don't miss their turn.
Come on.
You know what I mean? And I didn't want him to remove me even, don't get me to preach. You
doing good. Did y'all hear that? So while you sitting here waiting and watching and hoping, just get started because your dreams are attached to other people, and don't get moved out the way because you might miss, your opportunity and somebody else will step in. That was good. That was good.
I don't want to take credit for that.
Okay, so but all these films are either coming out or about to come out. Congratulations on the Tubi original. That's big. That's really big.
Congratulations to us.
Thank you.
Your face on there.
Thank you.
Y'all killed it.
I'm
seen
excited.
it. Y'all didn't, so too bad. But y'all see it. It's amazing.
I believe it. I'm excited about it. I got some more questions.
Okay.
I got some more questions. I probably got one more question. Then we're gonna get these tips out, and you're gonna give your 2 cents on them for me as well.
Okay.
So for the young creatives that are watching us, that feel like they don't have that get started and go, or if like the odds are against them, what would you tell them to encourage them, and something that you wish somebody would have told you earlier in your career?
First off, I love that statement you made. Don't wait to be great. I feel like that statement goes a long ways. And the Bible scripture, do you remember that Bible story about the different gifts God gave everyone? Mm-hmm. And, you know, some of them went and multiplied, whereas one went and buried his. Yep. Yeah, I feel like I understand. I won't sit here and say I don't understand how discouraging it can be to not know where to start. Yeah. I understand that. But where there's a way, when there's a will, there's a way. That's how I go. When there's a will, there's a way. And I'm one of those people that believe that anything can happen. Yeah. You know, this young lady, she wanted to sell her tea. Her name is Ellis Island. Okay, and she wanted to sell her tea, and she was selling out the back of her trunk at Home Depot. Wow. And now, today, that tea is in everywhere because Kevin Hart met up with her. She's from Detroit, by the way. Really? Yeah, she's from Detroit. This is somebody I know personally. I can call her and talk to her. What? She was selling tea out of the back of her trunk, and then one day met up with Kevin Hart. He tasted tea, put money behind it, and then it became in Targets and Walmart, all these different stores. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, if you have a cell phone, we in a world where right now is no excuse for not following your dreams. That would have to be a lazy mentality at this point because it's so easy. It's so easy. I can understand why the people ahead of us get irritated. Right. You just went in there and did that, and now you famous, you know, because I had to struggle, you know. There wasn't no self-tape. They had to go to the audition and see 50,000 of them and hope they get picked. You know what I mean? Now all somebody got to do is tag your name 50 times and then like, okay, who this person is talking about? Say, who is this? It's a lot more easier, so it's really no excuse to try. Yeah. You know, if you're an artist, draw, put your paintings out on the street at the corner. I panhandled one time. Really? I did. I love this. I put this big sign on and said I will work for my dreams. Wow. And it drew so much attention because it wasn't about being homeless per se or anything like that. It was me saying, if you put a little towards my dreams, I'm going to make them happen, you know? So you got to have a little bit of because they would call it delusion, right? Yeah. But I don't, you know, I'm like you. Anything can happen. Yeah. You gotta have that faith of a mustard seed. Come on and say it's gonna work no matter what. You know what I mean? But you gotta first, like I said, like we both were just saying, you don't have to wait to be great, but you gotta do something. You gotta get started. You have to do something. So y'all do something. Y'all hear this advice from this great woman? Do something. Do something. Everything she said was an accident, so she thought. Like, I accidentally became a rapper. I accidentally did a skit. I accidentally. You're right. It's not an accident. It was me willing to take a chance. Take a chance. You bet on you and the gift God gave you. You know what I mean? And here you are. Okay. So Jezar Riches is here, y'all. This is amazing. I love this. Okay, so let me give y'all some tips because I always like to give some tips. And you can jump in there and say some words at any point in time. Oh. Okay, so the first tip, number 1. Create your own opportunities. We literally just laid that out. You know what I mean? But I'll read what I got here for you. Don't wait for permission. Whether you're just starting out as a seasoned actor or you're writing or seasoned actor, producer, whatever, all that good stuff, just go and do something. Start small if you have to. She said she was doing skits. You got cringy ones. They're going to be worth like millions of dollars in like 2 years. You know what I'm saying? She started with cringy ones, and just to get going, it may have been cringy to you at the time, or even if you look back at it now, but it was really practice. You just got started. You know what I mean? Yeah. The first time I ever did a monologue was in the mirror. Didn't know what it was called. I'm doing this thing. I'm talking in the mirror. I'm doing the mirror thing. Like, what? I'm doing the mirror. Leave me alone. I'm doing the mirror thing. But you know what I mean? And it would be from my favorite movies or shows or anything that I watch. So you got to start somewhere. How do you feel about this? Is that Absolutely. Great advice.
See that? Great advice. See?
Great advice.
All right. Number 2. We moving. Number 2. Stay authentic to your voice. Before I give this, that's the next one. Stay authentic to your voice. How important was for you to find your own voice? Like, how important was that for you?
First off, it's very important, and I don't sacrifice that. I don't waver from it. Finding your own voice, because they're, especially nowadays when they're trying to mute us, so important to stay authentic to that. Yeah. You know, I know I'm a comedic actress. Yeah. You know, and I don't just say I won't give you something here and there. It's just that, but that's what I want for myself. Yeah. I stay true to that. Yeah. I'm a clean actress, so I stay true to that. You know, I don't feel like it's important enough for me to have to waver from the voice that God gave me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I dig that. I dig that. So I do, because a lot of people are selling their voice for little or nothing. And when I say your voice, we're not just talking about singing and rapping. We're talking about your voice, what makes you you. You know what I'm saying? So it's important that you hold on to that. I'm going to give you some more tips on it so y'all won't think I'm making stuff up as I go. So your uniqueness is your superpower. I don't care how tall, how skinny, how fat, how whatever, bald, whatever. You are you. You know what I'm saying? So you own that, okay? Even in the roles you play, the stories that you tell, and the characters that you feel true to, those are yours. You know what I mean? So don't water down your creativity trying to please everybody.
Yes.
Understand this, and I'm only using Jezar because she's here, that her comedy, her style of comedy is something that you love. That, you know, I'm pretty sure there's some videos, I'm pretty sure now you do a lot of them, you probably don't laugh at all of them, but I'm pretty sure it's some you do, and you probably like, that was dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was really dumb. Where did that come from? Because they're funny. They're funny. We talked about your voice. In a world that and I'm not trying to get nobody canceled, because this is not that. But you're a comedian. It's easy for comedians to get canceled now.
So easy.
So, like, how do you manage that without losing your voice? You know what I mean? Cancel culture.
I'm very careful. I do try to be very careful. And it's so funny because I was making a retracting statement one day, and I had some people coming like, "Oh, you human, let it be." And I'm like, "Okay, y'all either gonna cancel me or tell me I'm wrong for apologizing. I can't call it." But I'm just very careful. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, people gonna find something.
All the time.
Ultimately. And so you're going to have to be okay with the fact that everybody's not going to like everything you say or you do. At the best, you can just try really hard to monitor what you're saying, what you're doing, make sure you're not being offensive. You know, even when I do say something that could be argued, I try to give 2 point of views. You know, so like when I play,
smart. She giving y'all the sauce right now.
Yeah, so even today I posted a video about sugar and grits. I had one that wanted it, one who didn't. So you don't know who I am. You just know what these two characters
I'm laying out options.
Yeah.
That's smart.
You got to give them both.
That's smart. See, hey, I ain't know she was going to lay out the sauce for y'all, but there you go. There you go. You want to go viral? Listen,
okay,
do what Jezar says do. But still stay true to you. Yeah, stay true to your voice. My last one, number 3. Here we go. And I think you know this, and I'm going to use a word after I say this, but resilience is the game changer. Resilience is, can you talk about how important it is to be consistent?
Oh my! You have nothing happening for you if you do not stay consistent.
Come on.
Consistency is key. It is key. There was a show I did on YouTube. Josephine and Jezar.
Yeah, I remember.
Shantae somewhere screaming right now. Me mentioning it. She is like throwing a fit. But
it was a good show.
It was a good show.
Yes.
And I let life.
Yeah.
And the thing people don't understand is that the arts, any gift that God has blessed you with, is your therapy. Yeah. It is the thing that God has given you to escape life. Yeah. And so when we stop doing it because life is life and we're not getting the medicine, that is the healing. My art heals me all the time. Man. So it's now, you shouldn't stop at that point, but I stopped and I'm looking at all the people who are doing shows similar to that and they're millionaires now. So only had I stayed consistent, right? Yeah. So now going back to what I do today, I stayed consistent. And it became a thing where I didn't have to work anymore because this is what I do now. Yeah. And it took years. I'm not going to sit here and say y'all dreams that it was overnight, but for some people it is. You never know. Mm-hmm. You know, but don't stop. Just keep going. You're not going to always see the numbers. You're not going to always see the money. You're not going to always see the money.
Thank you for saying that. I say that. I've been saying on every episode. You're going to get famous before you get rich. I'm just going to tell you.
When people say you famous, I'm like, can you tell Chase? tell Bank of America I'm famous.
Please tell them.
Let them know.
But that's good. I'm glad you said that too. And I'm glad you let people know, like, don't stop your art, y'all. It's not, you're not going to always get the part. You're not going to always get the role. You're not going to always get picked up. You're not going your show, your podcast, whatever you're doing. But if you stay consistent and be resilient, like don't stop, just keep pushing. Even when in the good, the bad. One quote I always say from Denzel: "You can't pray for rain and then don't expect the mud." Yeah, it's gonna get dirty sometimes. Yeah. It's gonna get lonely sometimes. People are not gonna understand you, but you just gotta keep pushing and keep going. Those are our tips for today. Those are our amazing tips today. I gotta ask this question for Jezar.
Okay.
Because family, right? Mm-hmm. Your boys are. I've had the opportunity to. With the oldest, we done 2 films together.
Yes.
And then I did one with the baseball thing. Yeah. So how has this world affected them?
Oh, my little
I love your boys.
My little
Yeah.
babies. First off, I love my sons. Shout out to my sons. Because they'll see me come downstairs with a mustache and walk right past my mom doing mom. Mom is just mom's mom in the day. But I love that I can call them anytime, like, hey, y'all be in the skit with me? And they give 100% of energy into these skits. Like, they just like, okay, yeah, what's our lines? What's our motivation?
What's our motivation?
And my oldest, he's an actor. And
Yeah.
I love how he said he go to school and people have seen films he's been in.
That's so
and
dope.
I think he's been in more films than me at this point.
Really?
My son is amazing.
Mavi, he be working.
Yeah,
He be
Mal be working. And then Mavi is coming up. But you know what? Mavi's more the business mind.
Okay,
So he's
okay.
all trying to be about the business aspect of it. But I recently started a company for them so that they can have their own film company.
Because what's generational wealth? Y'all know what that is?
It's called Mally Math Productions. And I'm going to start doing kid films under their names.
What?
So as they get older, they have wealth stored up for them. And they can choose to take over the company, you know, however they want to run it. But, yeah, even now, we streaming. I'm a gamer.
Okay.
And people kept telling me, you need to stream, especially now. Because Kai done made it
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's a
popular,
thing now.
you know?
It's a thing.
Yeah, so I didn't want to just be the typical streamer.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I noticed that whenever I'm gaming, my kids got so much to say. And so they're in the stream with me.
That's
and
so smart.
It actually makes it so much more entertaining. Because
Yeah.
they in there talking, arguing with each other. Let mom do it. Mom ain't got it. You know? It's just... It's amazing, but it's time spent too.
Yeah.
You know, you don't never want your art to take away from your kids'
That's
time.
smart, yeah.
'Cause they not this age, but for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then they grown and have their own kids and family and life and stuff.
I think it was Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson who said on Number One on the Call Sheet how he said that the first time he was married and everything in his family, he would go without. You know what I mean? But he said when he got remarried and everything, he said, never again will I leave my family. He said they will always have the option to come with me if they want to.
I love
so
that's
I
love that. That's how I
yeah.
feel. I feel the exact same way when the time do come for me to travel. And I'm glad because my son's senior, so he about to be done.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, one I'm about to be done. And then the other one already got it. He's smart. He don't even need school no more. He teaching them now.
He's teaching the kid. He's teaching the staff.
He teaching them now.
I love it.
Yeah, the baby's got to go with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I dig that. I dig the fact that, first of all, that you came on here today.
What? Stop.
Yeah,
I was waiting for my call. Like, okay, I didn't seen him. I seen her. I gotta be somewhere coming out.
You were absolutely next. I said I got to see if Jezar is like. But no, I'm glad you came on here because you dropped some nuggets that I'm not shocked, but you know what I'm saying. I didn't know you were gonna go that way, and I love it. I love the fact that you went that way, and that y'all got to hear all these wonderful things that she's saying and doing. So I want y'all to continue to support Jezar. Because she's amazing what she does. Support every film that we name from the ones that are out and when they come, like when Failed Dispatch comes back around with a new name and a new everything. Just jump on board. Don't worry about the name. Watch the movie. That's all we want y'all to do. Watch the movie, Birth of a Savage, She Without Sin, Nutty Beautician, Fan of Mine. Watch everything and support y'all because although she's doing phenomenal, there's still levels, and we still want to go up and go higher, and we want to be able to present people with quality work. You know what I mean? Yeah,
Thank you. I'm just going to shout out Cheryl for She Without Sin. She's the executive producer on that. She trusted me to do her film. I want to shout out Say Grace, all the wonderful ladies
Say Grace.
off of her Patio Productions.
Yes.
Again, Coattail Productions, Ro and the whole team. It's okay. I could go all day.
You go on. Well,
I'm not gonna shout everybody out.
But since you said her Patio Productions, Say Grace, that her Patio Productions is a team of women.
Yes.
Talk about it a little bit.
Okay, so it's 7 ladies. It's
Yes.
7 of us. Debbie Spencer is our CEO as well as president. She brought us all together just so black ladies can finally have that voice we were talking about.
Come on.
You know, not be, with this being a male-driven industry, it was time for women to be able to have a say.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that Say Grace was done with only females.
Wow.
Down from the editing, the producing, the writing, the lighting, the
Intentionally.
everything. Intentionally.
Yeah, yeah.
And it turned out to be one of the most amazing films.
I was there.
So,
I saw the
you
premiere.
said I was there. So
was there.
shout out to those ladies. They're very hardworking, and we're very organized. So to have that, and it's not anti-man. It's not.
Yeah.
I really don't rock with the anti.
Yeah, I'm over the we don't need you and I don't need you.
I always want
We
to be
need
clear.
each other.
I always want to be clear. I'm anti the man against women.
Yeah.
I'm not that. It's just having a space though for us to be able to build. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, our future projects will consist of the men's help and things. And to be honest, some men did come and they just volunteered their help for us.
That's what's up.
So I love my black brothers.
Yeah.
I love brothers. You know, my brothers help me. They be coming in on the clutch. So yeah, just shout out to.
That's what's up. Shout out to Her Patio. Y'all go check out Say Grace and everything else Her Patio Production is doing, because it's 7 phenomenal women coming together to make beautiful projects. And that's an amazing thing. Jezar Riches, everybody. Just
Marcus Woods. Now, did y'all be nice in them comments?
Yeah, did y'all?
I said y'all gotta be nice in them comments.
Be nice in the comments now. Say no. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everything. Please go check out Divorce Lawyer. That's something that I'm in. Check it out. It is me and Sierra Angelique and Jake Newton. It's a wonderful film. Y'all check it out. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I'll be okay. She said be nice, but I think I'll be all right. No, and along with a slew of other films that myself and Jezar is in. Look, I found this out. I'm about to sound so old. If you go on Tubi and you type your name in, all your stuff will pop up.
What?
Literally, if you type in Jezar Riches, everything.
Oh, that's how people been getting all those. I thought they were sitting there cutting and pasting. I was like, y'all got time today. y'all got time today. I didn't know they was doing that.
No, that's how you do it. So y'all go and type in Jezar Riches, Marcus Woods, see everything that.
Because it's gonna be a slur. You are gonna see like.
You so funny. You gonna see everything she's in, or directed, or produced, or all that good stuff, or wrote. So y'all check that out. Y'all check that out. I always like to close off by saying, let me tell y'all this. I got to say this. I want you to start submitting your monologues to me. Send them in my DM, send them in Messenger on Facebook. Just send them in, and they could be featured on the show, and possibly you get on here and y'all get judged on purpose, live. You know what I'm saying? But let's do that. So start sending them in. I'll review them, me and a few others, and we'll pick the ones that we want on there, and then we'll have you come on here and do the monologues, because we want to get back to doing what Monologue Mondays originally was. It wasn't just me talking.
It was, people doing monologues.
People do monologues. So, but just to help you all, that's what Monologue Mondays is, to help people out, give them the opportunity to do something that I didn't have, or give them the space that, I didn't have this when I was coming up. That's amazing. I had the mirror. Remember the mirror? I was doing the mirror thing. That's all I had was the mirror.
You're judging auntie.
That's it. Do the thing you did in the mirror. Like, give me some space, auntie.
You can add a little spice to it. It ain't that good.
It ain't that good. You want breakfast, you do the thing. No. Okay. But that's it. So please do that. In the great words of Denzel Washington, we'll see you at work.
Yay.